Hi friends, this is Chris with Josephine's Design and Healthy Living for Him on Keto. And I am super thrilled. This is my Carnivore Crisps subscription. Now, I've been playing with my dehydrator and my lunch meat maker container. Anyways, I've been trying all this stuff. But for right now, when we traveled, we had a set of crisp that were not from this one. Some of them were good, some of them were not good, and so we're learning a little bit. Now, one of the things that was really good is they had chicken. This is thinly sliced chicken. The other was a ground chicken, you could tell, and then they somehow thinned it very thin, and then they dehydrated it. I can do that. I don't know that I can thinly slice chicken. After I'm cutting off the tip of this finger, I'm not super anxious to do all those things. But in the meantime, I just got us some guacamole, so my husband and I will have that tonight for our hors d'oeuvre. If it sounds good to him, he is still having tummy problems, bless his heart, but I love these. These are fantastic. They are 12 grams of protein. There's 5 servings in this bag, and they are 0 carbs. So it is nothing but chicken and salt. That's it. Chicken breast, purified water, Redmond real salt, period. That's it. No carbs, 12 protein. I'm going to be honest, we will probably do this in 2 rounds, so you can add a little bit more protein to that. So I'm going to be honest. When we sit down with a little bit of guacamole and eat that, that is such a treat. Now, I also pick up the crumbs because these are great. I throw these in my purse. And if I'm starving, if you have them sealed, you don't have to refrigerate them. Once you open them, you need to refrigerate them. So this is the ribeye and the beef brisket. I love the beef brisket, but my husband just came home with a massive packer brisket that I'm going to trim the fat off, render that for tallow, and then I'm going to sliver some of it to try to make beef jerky. My husband likes not the stick beef jerky like I like. He likes the actual meat beef jerky. So where it's like hard to chew and all that kind of stuff. And I've been playing with some thin steaks from Walmart at places like that to see what I could come up with for him. So there's that. And I also I've got 2 more pouches of that. And I also did the steakums, and they do make kind of like, they're beef. So they make kind of like what the 2 Crazy Ketos call them, a kind of a beef cracker, and I agree, but they're real crumbly, and I feel like they crumble too quick. So, and my husband was kind of like, they're not bad. But I also used my Redmond smoked salt on everything, and I used the chef blend last night. Fantastic, loved it. I've already gone through most of the little steaks, which for somebody who has a hard time getting protein in, that is a fantastic way for me to do it. My stomach can hold it, and I feel very full, very satiated, and for me, it is really it takes me forever to eat. Anybody who's been with me, they're always waiting on me to eat, and it's just because I have stomach issues. I have GI tract issues, so I have to go slow and slow, and my dad had the same problem, spastic esophagus, the whole thing, and so I have to go really kind of low and slow. Now, something like this I couldn't even wait. I opened these as soon as I pulled them out of the box. I know, and it was literally like 5 minutes ago, so I don't feel too badly. But I wanted to show you this. So this is ribeye, so there's going to be fat in this. So anybody who's doing like a carnivore diet or a beef, butter, bacon, and egg diet through the keto world, these are fantastic because you're gonna get that fat that you need, in this, guys. This literally just melts in your mouth. Now, there's oil in this because there's fat. Now, for somebody like me, I could never put a whole thing like that in my mouth, but I can with this because it just melts. So this is 11 grams of protein, less than 1 carb. If you eat the whole container, it's 2 carbs, and there's 2 servings in here. Seriously, I have it counted as 1 carb. The whole thing has 21 grams of protein, 11 grams each person. Again, you're looking at that 21. I might count it as 10. If you get extra, that's a Benny. Your fat in it is 6 grams. If you're eating just half, if you're eating the whole thing, it's 12. When my husband and I traveled, just got back from Michigan. Sorry, I'm still chewing. Excuse me. What we recognized is we lived on things like this and nuts. I know we stopped maybe once a day. We might get like egg bites, but then we started looking at the carbs on those, and we were just like, "Woo, not gonna do that again." I would get coffee and tea, or we also brought LaCroix and ZBS, which is the zero carb, zero sugar, zero fat, like soda type drinks. He loved the black cherry, and he likes a lot of them. He likes the Dr. Z, which is like the play on Dr. Pepper. I love the cherry cola. It's my all-time favorite, and I will drink just the cola. But we just thought for sure we had gained weight. For as many nuts as we ate, we both lost weight. Now, he's come home to a really sick tummy. We both agree this all started, I think it was either September, October. I think it was September. Anyways, we both got sick at the same dinner. And what I'm finding is that if I'm not really careful and I eat a certain amount or certain thing, it can cause that to flare up. So clearly, he and I are getting ready to start on an anti-parasitic routine, and we'll just see what happens. He's also recognized when he came home and he had a kombucha that probably was too hard on his stomach, and he's going to let that go. It really is too much carb, even though he's having the lower carb version. We also need to make sure that we have a little bit of too good, too good yogurt. And so we'll each have one of those in the evenings, and we can't do our keto chow until we at least get those things in, because our stomachs need to heal. And on the trip, I made sure we were taking probiotics and all the things that you should to stay healthy, enzymes, etc. But landing, he's had a terrible time again. I've had moments, but praise God, we made it on the trip there and back. He did have a problem going up, but it was all okay. We were able to be okay. So things like this are invaluable. If you're trying to get your protein in, you are keto in any version of the ketogenic diet, whether you're low carb, keto, ketovore, carnivore, lion, any of those, this is a great resource. I cannot say enough about Carnivore Crisps. I will probably switch my subscription from the one company and just keep this one for a while until I get all these kind of figured out. We can't afford this. We can't. I'm going to be honest. We can't. But it was great for the trip. It's great. We'll probably keep it till the end of the year to get us through the holidays. It looks like we're going to be taking a couple of trips in the holidays, my husband and I, and probably our youngest, but we're not sure yet. So I'll probably keep this until the end of the year, and then I'll probably try to cut it off and then figure it out myself for a while, but or just do it on an occasion, that kind of a thing. I highly recommend Carnivore Crisps. When the first time I tried them, I was like, ugh, you have to find the flavor you like. Brisket is fantastic. Ribeye is great. And I love the chicken. I love the chicken. I'm not going to lie. And they are fantastic. They're my favorite ever to eat with guacamole. Yeah, and I grew up in the South, and guacamole was a state of being. You just had it all the time. You can't go crazy, but an occasional little amount of guacamole is so yummy. And for any of us that are struggling to get our fat in, on a high-fat day, there are low-fat days. We are now getting ready to follow not everything, but a lot of the Maria Emmerich and Loving It on Keto with Wendy suggestions. And I think that for us right now, my husband has really lost weight. He's done a great job. He looks strong. He looks lean. He's doing fantastic. I'm so proud of him. And everything's firing. His brain, everything is so much better for him. And it really is amazing One of the aspects of this is emotional mental health. And I think when you feel better, you're not as apt to get angry. You're not as apt to be sad. You're not as apt to do all those things. I think that, thank you, baby. I think that this particular health journey for us has been invaluable in that. And that goes for me too. Though I think there's a couple of people who'd say, oh no, you've been losing your temper. No, I had to get firm on some things here recently, but that's okay. We're beginning to think more about our own needs, which we haven't done for a long time, and we're beginning to make our own plans. And I recognized even through the summer, we got hosed because somebody just didn't step up and do their job. And you know what? I don't want to pay for people anymore. I don't want to do other people's jobs. I'm kind of done. And I genuinely have recognized that if it's not a healthy situation, then we are wishing everybody well. But the minute it becomes unhealthy, we are stepping back. And my husband has begged me to do this for quite a while. And I just, my heart would not allow me. And after some, recent events, I've recognized that we have to do what's healthy for us. And when you've been sick with an upset stomach, I'm gonna leave it there for almost 30 days, you are completely depleted. And so you have to focus on your health, and you have to focus on things that will help get you to where you need to be, like protein wise, etc. Because if I only ate, like today we had chicken soup. We had it yesterday, and it was yesterday, day before. Anyways, because of my husband's stomach, I immediately made bone broth. I made a chicken soup. And just chicken with a little bitty tiny amount of vegetables, not a lot. And then whatever was left of that, I threw in with the bone broth. I strained all that out. And then we had today that bone broth that was left, I put in chicken, some chopped onions, and that was it. And it had some remnants of the cilantro and garlic and things like that I cooked it with initially. And then I also added, I put in 2 massive chicken breasts. I cut up one, I put the other one, wrapped it up. Once it got cooked, I put it in the freezer. So we have that for next time. If somebody doesn't feel well, I pull out a thing of bone broth and I make another chicken soup. And, but I recognize that we need to do some things that are good for us. We need to eat the food that we need to eat. We don't need anybody to tell us what we need to do. We've done our own research. We know what we're sensitive to and what we're not sensitive to. And we need to do what's best for us. And everybody in your life is going to have an opinion, but you need to find the tools that work for you. So on this trip, these tools worked for us. And I was never so thankful that we had them. And I think my husband was as well. We can't necessarily sit down and eat a corn chip, but we can eat a chicken crisp and have guacamole with it. And we can have beef ribeye and have, and just eat that. It doesn't really need anything else. And I mean, we just have to look at what is good for us. Now, that being said, that was kind of a lot of information there, but I just want you guys to understand that, when you're on this journey in life, you have to find what works for you, and that's okay. You do what works for you. Make sure you've done all the research, you understand the pros and the cons, etc., and you go from there. In my opinion, this is extremely clean, an extremely clean option from Carnivore Crisps. It's basically meat, purified water, and Redmond real salt. I mean, you can't get any better. And this is all grass-fed. I'm sure grass finished. It has 0 sugar, made in the USA, for a carnivore diet, gluten-free. Yeah, you can't beat that. And you have to do what works for you. All right, friends. This was just one of our traveling tools that worked really, really well. And I pray that this encourages you. When you travel, you can totally travel on a ketogenic diet, period. And my husband kept saying, it is really hard to know where to go. And I was like, why is it hard? And he was like, well, because we can only go to, and I said, no, we can go anywhere. We just don't get the bread, or we don't get, whatever. Pardon me. I mean, we eat at Bob Evans. When you look at their menu, it's 99.99999%. It feels like some kind of a fried bread product. But we found I got the steak and eggs, sirloin steak and eggs, and my husband got an omelet. And guess what? Any of the sides that were like carby hash browns, my husband switched out mine to get fruit, so he ate my fruit. And I did eat a tiny sliver of cantaloupe that I haven't had in ages because I always love cantaloupe. My husband was like, "You can eat that." I mean, when we looked at the carbs, he was like, "That's like maybe 3 at the most carbs." Anyways, I ate it and I got through with it, and I thought it wasn't even that good to me. That was kind of a waste of carbs. But and then he ate. It was grapes, and yeah, the grapes were not good. He didn't eat them all though. Eventually, or he spaced them out. I can't remember. But and he's better than I. He can have more carbs than I can. And then he ate a big old omelet, 3 meat omelet. He could totally do that. Now, are they using the cleanest oils? Probably not. Probably not. But for the sake of travel, we could eat there. And I think you just have to look at everything as an opportunity and not, not a disappointment. We also, of course, ate our McDonald's burgers. I brought cheese. We put our own cheese on them. When it was warm, we stuck them in the window and let the cheese melt. I mean, yeah, we are very good at that. And there were just things like this that we did. We tried to stop once a day when we were doing lots of traveling to eat. On the last day we stopped, we crossed the Texas border and we went in and got barbecue at this place called, I think it was Texas, was it Longhorn, or I can't remember, but it was it was like a strip and there was a gas station out front, and then they had a ton of restaurants within it, like four or five different restaurants, and one of them was a barbecue place, and we just went in there and ordered brisket, and we literally ate that for brunch, and then we turned around and for dinner, I take that back. I think we did eat eggs that morning at the hotel and bacon. Yes, we did. So we ate that for lunch, and then we turned around and ate. We had enough left, and when we got home, we heated it up. We had it for dinner. So, and our youngest ate it with us. So it was not an inexpensive lunch. We picked up Topo Chicos, lime Topo Chicos, as soon as we crossed the border into Texas. And that's a real, we love lime Topo. But anyways, we love Topo, but we really love lime Topo. And we literally carried a case with us to Michigan, and it was gone. By the time, I think we had 2 left when we got in the car to start driving home. But I had lots of LaCroix and Zevia and things like that. So we were totally fine. And water, plain water. So, when you travel, you don't need to make it hard. You can make it super, super, super simple. And when people cringe at eating nuts in the car, we did. And you know what? It was fantastic. We did not go crazy. We were very careful. I had these mammoth pecans from HEB. It's an HEB product. We both agreed, hands down, they were fantastic. Our trees are getting ready to drop tons of pecans, so we won't buy any more for a while. And then we also had macadamia nuts and pistachios, and my husband loves peanuts, so he had peanuts. And again, is it as clean keto? Maybe not, but if it keeps you from going off the deep end, then it's not a bad thing. We also had a little bit of the Scrummy Sweets caramels, and so we'd limit them because of how many carbs they are. I mean, they're no sugar, but they're still carbs. And then my husband ate the gummy bears, which he always eats those. And those are a little bit more high carb. That, I mean, even though there's no sugar, they're still keto friendly. But and we love the couple that's their company. We got to meet them this summer. Very kind people. And so he had those on the way up over a series of 2 days. I mean, I think he even had some left when we got there. So we really kind of ration those things out, and we enjoy them. And that's okay. That's okay. We did not have any of our keto chow in the car because I forgot my little blenders. And I had a shaker bottle, but my husband doesn't like the milkshakes as much. He likes On the way home, I cooked ahead some of the custard, so we ate that in the car, and then custard pudding, and then we also when we got home, I made keto chow. We had ice cream, keto chow ice cream. I put some up, and today I made a whole bunch and filled the freezer with all my available jars, and that's it. I mean, I've learned what works for us, what doesn't work for us, what tastes great, what doesn't taste as great. You just have to really just keep it simple and find out what works for you. And I don't have a problem drinking the keto chow in the car, but because milk can be a problem for me, I have to be careful. I do the puddings with coconut milk, so that is no problem. Though in this particular version for the car trip, I added in a can of coconut cream. Never will do that again. It made a much softer pudding, and that's not my thing. So, and I literally have some of that in the oven right now and one in the blender ready to put in the oven. So I love the custard. I make it all the time. Last night I was so exhausted. I fell asleep at 7 o'clock. Yeah, it was really sad. And my husband kept waking me up, and we saw the end of the World Series. Go Texas Rangers. We were so happy, though we love Arizona. Um, it was wonderful. We enjoyed it. We know my daddy was dancing in heaven, and he was really dancing when it was the Astros and the Rangers in the playoffs. Yeah, my dad loved both those teams because Nolan Ryan played on both. He loved Nolan Ryan. Anyways, and my husband kept waking me up to watch that. And then, but I kept snoozing back off and I just could not believe how hard I slept last night. I figured I'd be awake at 5 o'clock and then I couldn't go back to sleep, but I slept in until the alarm went off. And I mean, I wake up periodically, but I think that was a result of all the migraine that I was dealing with. But I have to say that we both lost weight. We both were amazed. My husband swore he had gained weight. Of course, since he's been home, he's been pretty sick. So I don't know. We'll see what happened. But for me, I didn't have all that. I do have a lot of arthritic swelling still. So once that goes down, I'm sure I'll have lost more. But at this point, we are not going, we are going to stay on our keto chow at least a half a day each, if not one. And then we are going to stay ketovore until we get past Christmas, past the New Year's, and then we will probably, I will go pretty close to carnivore until it's like my birthday and our anniversary. I'll take those probably 2 days off. But yeah, we are really trying to get very serious, at least for me, because I could potentially have to have surgery. And the hope is if I let my body completely heal through this, what will happen? And so we're going to give it a try. So, okay, friends, long story, lots about my health journey, lots about our health journey, but get the tools you need when you travel. Plan ahead, call ahead. You know, if you don't want to spend money when you're out, you can. We kept a lunch box up at the front, and we had an ice chest in the back that was a plug-in refrigerator freezer ice box. And then we also had another bag that my husband threw in at the last minute full of drinks, just our favorite drinks. And he was right. We saved a ton of money doing it that way. He did take out my box of plain topos, which is why I ended up having so many Charlie horses. But I guarantee you he won't do that again. He will not. I mean, I could barely stand up the next day and was just, standing there shaking like a leaf, trying not to cry, thinking, how do I even get in the shower? And it was like a walk-in shower. I mean, it wasn't even hard. It was just the thought of having to undress and get in the shower and, and get out. And it was just a horrible hotel, horrible situation without elements, and horrible smell that made me very ill. It made me sick almost immediately. So do not stay in a hotel room that's making you sick. That's the other thing we learned. And and my husband, the reason we really didn't ask is he said, there is no one in that lobby that is not smoking. And I said, what are you talking about? And he goes, there's no one in there not smoking. And I said, are you serious? And he goes, yes. He said, I've never seen so much smoking in my life. So, yeah, we learned a really big lesson. And there's a certain chain of hotels we will never stay in again. So, and that just played out. I mean, we learned The Holiday Inn Express was fantastic. It was the best last year. It was the best this year. And then, of course, we stayed in the Marriott with the kitchenettes and then the Hilton kitchenettes. So we have kitchens, with 2 burners and a microwave and a full-size fridge. And then if we can have that, we are good to go. That is a really easy thing for us. We're always able to cook and eat, and we're good. So that's how we do it. Now, we've also been a week in Detroit without a kitchen, without a microwave, but with a mini fridge. I've worked that one too really well. I would eat nuts, seeds, too good for you. That's how I tried the too good for yogurts, cheese, any kind of dried meat or lunch meat. And I will take a slice of cheese and a piece of lunch meat and roll it up, a clean piece of lunch meat, roll it up and make like a little roll. And that's how I'll eat that. I used to make this for my kids, but I put them on a tortilla. I'm doing it without a tortilla. And I really love baby Swiss cheese. That is my favorite with the smoked. We also found that Aldi was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. The cleanest lunch meat I've ever found. Pardon me, it was a smoked chicken or turkey or both, and they were fantastic. And we got that and the baby Swiss, and that was a fantastic combo. My husband doesn't like baby Swiss, so I just gave him cheddar. And they also have fantastic buys on Cabot cheese, which Cabot is our favorite. So there were just things like that we learned in all these travels. So just figure out ahead what works for you. We also did the Parmesan crisps. Those are fantastic. We take those. Of course, we take beef jerky. We take all things like that. And, you just have to just look at it as a glass half full. You just have to. You're going to make it. You're going to get the protein you need. And you're going to be able to keep your carbs down. And you're still going to be able to feel good at the end of the trip. Now, the less processed you can get, this is not processed. This is dehydrated. That's a good choice. Anything like an Archer, what is that called? Archer and something, beef stick, that's processed. Clearly it's processed. So you just have to choose wisely. All right, friends, I hope you've enjoyed my share or my happy mail, as well as my travel tips with keto. Stay hydrated, stay hydrated, stay hydrated. Get your electrolytes, get your electrolytes, get your electrolytes, get your protein, get your protein, get your protein. And yeah, stay as low carb as you can. It's doable. All right, friends, I pray your day is blessed, creative, and lovely. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Share this with anyone who may be new or doesn't understand this journey. And if I'm going to reach out before I post this and see if they'll give us a discount code. I've had a couple that I've said I was going to do that on, and I couldn't get a discount code. That's why there's not one listed. But if not, what I'm going to do is seek out somebody who does have a discount code and ask if I can link their YouTube to it, and that way you can get a discount code. I just think it's worth doing. Or if you subscribe and save, you save. All right, friends, I love you guys as much as I love you. Jesus loves you so much more. I will be talking to you later. Love y'all.